G'day YouTubers! This morning we're out in the field. We've got the HF90 shortwave radio and we're going to be communicating with the VKS-737 National Four-Wheel Drive shortwave radio service. So we've got the radio set up here in its little case and I'm just going to deploy the antenna now. So here in this HF90 emergency pack we have the radio itself, we have a cell call microphone here, inside the box there's a loudspeaker, a 12 volt 7 ampere hour battery, a light force 12 volt 240 volt charger, and up the tree we've got the spooled out antenna. This is a matching transformer. It's a 1:9 impedance matching transformer, goes up to about 450 ohms, and that feeds to the wire antenna. So a very basic system, not forgetting the ground system, which is connected to the wet earth here at Herdsman Lake. So here we have the spool of antenna wire. It's actually about 35 meters long, and it's effectively a stealth antenna. You can hardly see the wire there. Very thin and easily concealed. A lot of it goes onto this relatively tiny spool. Now the major benefit of shortwave radio is that it's completely autonomous. It doesn't depend on satellites, it doesn't depend on cell phone towers, no infrastructure is required. These radios, these HF90 and other shortwave radios, can communicate directly with each other over distances of beyond 3,000 kilometers. So they're ideal for use in emergency situations where you don't want to be depending on anything else other than what's in your box. Here in Australia we've got the VKS-737 National Four-Wheel Drive Radio Network. That's very useful for four-wheel drivers out in the outback when they need to communicate. There are certain places where satellites simply don't work. Sat phone is good, but it has its limitations. If you're in canyons or if you're in forest, it simply does not work because you haven't got a view to the sky to see any of the satellites. Whereas HF radio with near vertical incident skywave, that works very effectively. Even if you can't see the sky and there's a reasonable forest canopy, the shortwave radio will still get through. Now we're just going to try and beacon some of these stations. We'll take it in turn, starting with the Perth station to see if we can get a response from them. So there we are, a very strong revertive from the Perth station on the 5455 frequency. So we'll try Meekatharra now. Yep, very strong response from Meekatharra. We'll go a little bit north to Port Hedland. Probably won't get them at this time of day. Okay, Port Hedland comes up too. We'll move now to the 8 meg channel, 8022. See if it's louder on that channel. Yeah, as expected, it's a longer way away, and so it's a bit stronger on the 8 meg. But if we go back to Meekatharra, it's probable that we won't be able to raise it on 8 megs. Good signal on 8 megs. Well, let's try Perth as well. And not surprisingly, because we're very close to Perth at Herdsman Lake, there's no response. So that's the HF90 in beacon mode. We were a little too late this morning to catch the sked. We'll maybe try that another morning. Good morning, YouTubers out there in Radio Land. Today we've got this HF90 radio here, shortwave radio, and we're going to call up the National 4-Wheel Drive Radio Service. That's a radio service in Australia, designed specifically for 4-wheel drivers who are driving all around Australia in very remote areas. Every morning and every evening there's a sked or schedule where you can call up base stations that are located all around Australia and report your position, report where you're going to be tomorrow, and update them as to any problems you've been having along the way. You can also use it as an emergency service at any time of the day using the cell call. So it's a very useful service, and we're going to call in this morning to either the Perth or the Meekatharra station.
Good morning, this is VKS-737 on Meekatharra base, channel 2. It's standing by for any VKS-737 members who may wish to check in. We're not holding any messages for members this morning. That was calling in before. Can you please try again? Over.
Meekatharra base, this is mobile 1626 calling. Over.
Mobile 1626. That's Roderick. How are you this morning, and whereabouts are you?
Very good, thank you. I'm actually doing a radio check at Herdsman Lake. I've got my QMAC portable set up here, just checking that it's functioning correctly. Over.
Roger, yes, it's doing very well, thank you, Roderick. It's putting in a good signal. Derby was just a little bit far away, but putting in a very good signal into Meekatharra. Over.
Thanks very much for that. Will you be coming up on 5455 at some point? Over.
Yes, I come up on that at 7:55. That's 7:55 Western Standard Time, which is approximately 9 minutes away, and it might be a bit of a go at this time of the day, but we can give it a try anyway. So I'll look out for you then. Over.
Thanks very much for that. This is mobile 1626 standing by. That noise we can hear is originating in Indonesia. That's probably some Indonesian military jamming station. HF radio is much used in Indonesia because it's such a large archipelago, and there are many remote communities that use it for point-to-point communication. So now we change to 5455 kilohertz.
Is a VKS-737 Meekatharra base standing by on channel 1 for any VKS-737 members who may wish to check in.
Mobile 1626 calling Meekatharra base. Over.
A mobile 1626, yes, getting you again there, loud and clear, Roderick. And how do we sound? Over.
Yeah, you're very strong here. I'll just stick my signal strength meter on standby. Meekatharra base, how do you read mobile 1626, over?
Very loud and clear, very loud and clear, over.
Yeah, you're about 26 dB signal to noise ratio here, over.
Roger. Okay, thanks very much for checking in. I'm going to channel 4. Don't know whether you have channel 4, do you, over?
Yeah, Roger, I have channel 4. I'm not quite sure how that will go, over.
Yeah, I think it might not be far enough away, but we can find out if you like. I'm doing that at 8 o'clock. How long have you had your QMAX, over?
Oh, I've had it for years and years. I used to own the company, over.
Oh, Roger. Yes, very good. All right, so you know all about them. Yes, I had one for a while. Back in about 2000 in 2000 exactly. And yes, it worked quite well, over.
Yeah, Roger that. Is channel 4 the 14 meg channel, over?
14977. 14977, over.
And on the 14 meg channel we can't hear them. The frequency is much too high. The skip is such that the signal goes right over the top and won't come in from Meekatharra. So that's our experiment over for today.